Welcome to the Zeitgeist Lab podcast, collection 2. We're talking about community, and today we have a very special episode. It's a late night edition.
Yeah, it's
Also,
something.
we're talking about advanced gay
We are.
because it's Pride Month. Will
It
still
is.
be
Hey,
Pride?
it is.
Will it still be Pride Month when this episode drops?
I don't know. Maybe.
All right. Well, we're celebrating Pride Month by talking about advanced gay. That's why I
right.
picked it. That's why I picked
Okay.
it.
All right. That makes sense, I suppose.
Yeah. So, Alex, you've been experiencing a lot of technical difficulties this evening, haven't you?
I have, yeah.
So, let walk me through that.
I mean, my computer won't boot, so I should take a picture of this huge ass computer that I have. Yeah, my computer, I used my work computer to do all the pod stuff, and I had to do an update on it today, and that was fine. But then when it finally rebooted, it won't reboot. So hopefully that gets resolved because I don't want to have to deal with that in the morning. But I had to bring this huge ass computer downstairs that I've had. Jesus, it's almost like 10 years old now. So hopefully we make it through this episode and all the stems are there and we can deliver this advanced gay material to everyone listening.
Yeah, this one. Yeah, this is a do or die situation.
Yeah, well, yeah, we've lost data before. It wouldn't be the first time.
True. Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, I've just been sitting here getting proper fucked up. I'm drinking a Mickey's fine malt liquor. And,
well, I thought you don't drink. What's going on?
it's the summer. I like to drink in the summer. And
Okay.
that's family functions. When I say I don't drink, I generally don't, but I like to drink. I like to get drunk at family functions because obviously they're so much more easier to endure.
Okay.
And it's just the summer, so
And a malt liquor, that's like a carbonated beverage, right?
Yeah.
Because you also claim you don't drink soda, and obviously beer is not soda, but to me soda is also like anything that like is carbonated when you open it.
True. But I made an exception for alcohol for when it comes to carbonation.
Okay.
But yeah, so I've just been, smoking and drinking, waiting for the episode to start. But I've just been chilling.
I've got a question for you that I've actually wanted to ask you this for a number of months. So what is on that shirt that you're wearing? Because you wear that shirt often, and all I can ever see is the top of what appears to be a cowboy hat.
It's Orville Peck.
Oh, okay. All right. I thought it was.
You know who that is?
I don't, but I thought it was a Yosemite Sam shirt. Is what I alwais thought it. That's what I always imagined that it was underneath the cowboy hat, like Yosemite Sam.
No, it's Orville Peck, the country singer.
The popcorn guy.
The country singer. Yeah.
Oh, the popcorn.
Yeah,
like he makes that popcorn.
Yeah, he sings about popcorn.
Yeah. No, it's country. That's why I haven't heard it. Fuck country music. Get your country bullshit out of here.
No, he's like the exception to the rule. I don't like country music, but I heard his album Tony a couple years ago when it came out and just fell in love with it.
You know what's a good country song is It's 5 O'Clock Somewhere by Alan Jackson. That's maybe the one exception I have.
Certainly is 5 o'clock somewhere.
It is, yeah. And that somewhere is probably Wodonga.
Yeah. So, community. Do we want to talk about it right away?
I don't know. It's up to you. I'm good with whatever. It seems like this season we had one episode that was less than 25 minutes. The episode that just dropped tonight, our only guest so far with Althea, is like close to an hour and a half. So we've really run the gamut of time lengths here.
Yeah. I want to make this a fun one though. Like, I mean, they're all fun, but like, I was anticipating like this one to be a real live wire.
Look, I'm gonna be honest here. Like, I enjoy potting. I look forward to it. I think as much as you do. This is a stressful little jaunt
Yeah,
to get here, and I don't know if my baby is
yeah.
gonna wake up sick. She's been having problems, so I'm gonna
Really, I didn't
try to
get
be fun. But I'm really I don't know how fun I am feeling on this fine Monday evening.
That's right. It's Monday. But yeah, so I've quit my job since the last time we've talked.
I mean, when we had, yeah, and when you say since last time we talked, that's literal. Like, we have not talked since the last time I hit stop recording, which was like over a week ago. I mean, we message
Yeah.
every now and then, but we have not like,
Oh yeah.
and sometimes we'll do like a quick check in before we start recording. But today I like literally hit record as soon as the call popped up because I've been trying to get this fucking computer up and running for like half an hour now.
Yeah. But yeah, so I quit my job. They finally let me do it. They stopped believing in me, and I got a bunch of interviews lined up. A lot of
But,
places want to hire me.
but why did you quit?
I just didn't want to take calls of people's bullshit.
But the money was good, right?
It was good, yeah. And I liked logging into FEPS and seeing the money number rise
Yeah,
every hour.
yeah, sure.
Yeah, I don't know. In retrospect, I could have stayed longer, but they recorded my calls and played them in front of me.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
yes, that's how call
yeah,
centers work. You didn't like
yeah,
that?
I didn't like that. I didn't. I mean, I understand that procedure,
Yeah.
like that's regular, but I didn't like that. That made me uncomfortable, and they were like pointing out all the shit I did wrong. And before I was talking to my therapist, I was like, "Look, I'm just gonna like bullshit my way through this. I'm gonna transfer people a lot. You know,
Yeah.
I had a little catchphrase that went like, "Don't have the answer, do a transfer."
Hmm.
And I was just gonna, like rely on my coworkers heavily, my supervisors for answers and stuff. But then they were like, "Yeah, you did an inappropriate transfer. You're not supposed to do that." And
Yeah.
I was like, "Fuck, okay. Well, there goes the if you don't have the answer, do a transfer thing."
Yeah. But I mean, you learn. I don't know. I don't wanna, I don't certainly don't wanna feel like I'm judging you or anything like that. I just I was surprised to see that you had quit so soon after um
It
learning
was
that
really,
someone believes in you.
I don't know. It was really stressing me out, like the really long days and like um not a lot of time off and stuff. And I don't know. I just needed something that was a little more my speed. So I got a couple like um jobs lined up doing like autism therapy with people with autism, helping them with therapy and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And like more caregiving jobs, that kind of thing.
Well, hopefully that works out.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. But in the meantime, patreon.com/ZG Lab Pod.
I mean,
Yeah,
we need quite a few more patrons before either you or I start actually pocketing any money. So.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. We got to plug it. We don't really plug that very often.
Yeah.
So I'm plugging it up front.
Patreon.com/ZGLabPod. I just finished editing the 7th research episode today. Our fine patron, Danny Joss Leary of Sadie Hawkins Pod, MXPX Memes, T-Mobile Tuesday fame, has been asking me when that's going to drop. It was supposed to drop today, but I was trying to upload a YouTube video to go along with it, and then YouTube shit the bed on me and like blocked the video in every country imaginable because
I got a lot of emails saying we got a lot of copyright
yeah,
claims.
yeah.
I
I
was wondering
well,
what it was.
oh, you know, I do think that people should go check out our Patreon. I think we have some great stuff back there. I actually really like the one I'm trying to finalize. It's Brian and I go over our 10 favorite TV shows of all time. It's close to 3 hours. It's an insane runtime. And I thought, oh hey, it would be cool if because we do our recording via Zoom. I record the calls. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna upload the recording of this call to YouTube so that our patrons can watch the videos along with us, because we play a lot of clips of our favorite shows. And
Oh,
specifically the one that I think was a big, like, because usually like on a lot of the Drive Through Records episodes, for instance, of our first collection, it would get flagged and YouTube would just be like, hey, you can't make money off this, but you can still play it, whatever. Like, we'll let it play. You can't monetize it, which I don't give a fuck, because monetizing stuff on YouTube's insane. But they specifically just said, we are not going to let you play this video because it has a clip of the Dave Chappelle show on it. And so that was
yeah.
like the nail in the coffin for that video. And I tried trimming it out, but then it complained about some of the other clips. So I think we're just going to have to let our patrons listen to audio only, unfortunately.
Damn. But that's nearly 3 hours long.
2 hours and 40 minutes. Yeah.
Wow. That's a good one though. That's like I say this all the time, but like a lot of our best work is behind the paywall.
Oh, absolutely.
Have
Yeah.
at it, people.
Yeah, I think I don't know how I describe what the hell we're doing in front of the paywall. It's kind of all over the place. I would say
It's been all over
that
the place lately.
behind the paywall, it's more focused, if that's possible. But it's
It
also,
really is. Yeah.
but like I feel like in front of the paywall, we have, some genuine moments, some earnest moments, and some really funny moments, but they kind of stay more towards the middle. I feel like behind the paywall, they go more to the extremes. Like, there's much more genuine and real moments that I really appreciate, but there's much more just like insane shit that happens back there too. So,
Oh, for sure. Yeah. So if you want to experience this podcast to the fullest extent
of the law.
of the law, yeah, then hit up our Patreon. It's only $3 a month. That's like the price of a fancy cup of coffee.
I was just editing. Yeah, I was editing the episode today, and you mentioned that exact analogy. So apparently, the only thing you're doing with $3 is buying a fancy cup of coffee.
Or what else costs $3?
$3. 2 packs of gum.
There you go. Yeah, it's $3 a month. We fart one of these out at least once a month.
That's also not true.
Actually, no. As I started to say that, it felt not true.
We promise at least 2 per collection. We have delivered more than that so far, but it's not once a month. So on average, it actually has been once a month, but there have been months where we do nothing, and then months where we've like got 2 or 3 out. So yeah, on average, it's once a month. But I don't want anyone thinking that literally every single month they're going to get a new one, because I can't promise that.
No,
not for only $3.
No. What are you drinking, by the way?
It is a Cascade Ice Strawberry Lemonade caffeinated water.
Ooh, okay. I think I've seen those before.
It's really good. I just saw it at the local Smith's, which is what our Kroger brand is out here, and I was like, I'll try it, and they're really good.
Our Kroger brand over here is Pick and Save.
Okay, nice.
There's this. I don't know if I'm gonna talk about this person, but like, I love going to the Pick and Save because like I'm the youngest person there by like 20 years. It's like all old fucking people.
Mm-hmm.
But there's this one kid who works there who dresses like so funny. He wears like a trench coat and like a cabbie hat and like a fancy watch, and he's all he's doing is bagging groceries.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's probably got rich parents that made him go get a job or something.
But he just looks, but he you can tell he's like an alternative kid. Like he's dressing like that to be like subversive or something.
Okay.
And he just looks so fucking funny to me, and like I look for him every time I go there.
Okay, then.
And I just gawk at him, just like. He could be for all I know, yeah, I don't know anything about him, but
he's
like
a pop punk guy.
What?
He's a pop punk guy.
I don't know about that. He seems pretty young. I don't know. He seems like he's like going through some shit. I don't know.
Okay.
But he just looks so funny. I don't know. I've never told anyone about that. But like it just brightens my day every time I see him. It's like, yeah, kid, you be subversive
Right.
at your job.
At
Like,
Kroger.
yeah, pick and save. But every other aspect of pick and save is horrible. I hate going there.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. I hate like it's they never bag your groceries right. You'll say, "Oh yeah, I'll take paper," and then next thing you know, they're putting in like 4 plastic bags, and it's like I have to cram all that into an Uber.
Plastic's the way to
So
go. Fuck paper bags.
I mean, yeah, they take up more space, that's for sure. But I don't know. I just want all my shit in one bag.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
'Cause
understandable.
I'm Uber, and I'm not like taking this all to my car and then taking it
Just
to my
load up the
garage.
dude's trunk.
It takes too much time. I'm like I'm always in a hurry. Anyway, Advanced Gay. I watched it. Don't worry, I watched it today.
Okay. I got partway through it, but I feel like I remember it pretty well. This is one of my
I
picks. It's
really,
probably my
really
favorite
should.
episode of the season or the series. So
It's your favorite episode of the series?
yeah, that's why I picked
Okay.
it. Unlike you, I actually pick episodes that I like. I'm not going to get to the end of this episode and be like, you know what? Why the fuck did I pick this episode?
So okay, so why is this your favorite episode?
I think we talked in the first episode of this collection that season 3 kind of acts, and I'm trying to remember if I said specifically Biology 101 or the season at large, but it's kind of like the linchpin in the first Harmon era. And I think this is where everything kind of starts to, we really start to coalesce around what we're getting out of this season. We see, like, the forefront of Pierce and the issues with his dad, and we see how Jeff, how that affects Jeff. And we know in season 4, Jeff goes on to meet his dad. Very shitty plot line hashed out post Harmon, but you can see in the series finale of the season finale of season 3 that Jeff starts looking for his dad. So we get the kind of the seeds of that planted. We have another appearance from John Goodman, Vice Dean Laybourne, a phenomenal character. We see really the beginning of Troy deciding what does he want to do. Does he want to be with Abed and just do that? Does he want to do air conditioning? Does he want to do plumbing? So we start to see all these things. I just feel like this is really an episode where the whole idea of season 3, and therefore, in my opinion, the masterpiece that is the first Harmon era, like, it really just starts to coalesce around a lot of different things. And it's also just fucking a funny episode.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's interesting that you say it. This is like when everything starts to pay off. We'll get to that later. When we talk about the AV Club's opinion, because I had time to read that.
Wow, look at you.
I know, right? That's what I was doing when you were setting up all your stuff. I was attempting to read the review.
Okay.
But
But like, oh, sorry, go ahead.
yeah, I think it's got like a lot of really good one-liners this episode, but I don't think I feel as strongly about it this year. It's certainly not my favorite of the whole series, but I think it's a very good Pierce episode for sure. And like you said, exploring like the plot line with his dad and his own like internalized like homophobia, I guess, and his internalized hate and misunderstanding
Yeah.
of other people.
Well, and also, like, I just think you've picked the majority of the episodes in this collection because it's you're the one who ultimately decided we're going to be talking about Community, and you've mentioned a couple times now, I think, there's like this run of episodes in season 2 that are just great, and it's hard to dispute that. But for me, this comes right in the middle of, like, what I think is like the best run of consecutive episodes in the series, starting with the season premiere Biology 101 and going right up through the 8th episode, which is documentary filmmaking redux. So I think those 8 episodes, like I think it's an insane run. It's damn near perfect, and this to me, this is kind of the peak. Like after this, you do the Abed and Troy, or the Annie moving in with Troy and Abed episode, and then the new commercial for Greendale, which are fine. That's kind of like on the downward slope of this really great series of episodes.
Remedial chaos theory is in there too, right?
Yeah, so the run I'm talking about is Biology 101, which we've talked about. Geography of Global Conflict, that's the Model UN, a great Garrett episode. Then you've got Competitive Ecology, that's the Todd episode where they have the Todd problem. Then you've got Remedial Chaos Theory, which we'll talk about. Horror Fiction and Seven Spooky Steps, which I think is the best Halloween episode. Advanced Gay, and then the moving one, and then the Abed's documentary about filming the Greendale commercial.
I get all the filmmaking episodes mixed up. We were doing one of them, and I don't know which one it is. Even though I picked it.
I think it. Well, we already did one. I mean, last week we talked about wedding and videography, and that's one of them.
Yeah, but it's like something filmmaking in the title, and I'm pretty sure I picked it.
I know you picked it. Yeah,
and I have no idea which one it is.
Which makes no sense to me, but okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, so this one, like, it kind of humanizes Pierce a lot, which is really interesting because most of the time you only see him as this kind of one-dimensional character who's like he's not as tortured as, I mean, he is tortured because of his dad, but you don't really see that a lot. This kind of really focuses in on that. I really like that about it.
And it's definitely a recurring theme. Like I think it's season 2 where him and maybe it's later in this. No, it is later in this season because it's after his dad dies. But yeah, this is kind of the beginning of that. But then later in this season, him and Shirley get the sandwich shop, and like after they get approved by the school or whatever, and then he's like at his dad's grave. And he's like, "Look at me now, Dad!" Like. And like, I just think this is, I think Pierce and his dad is a really interesting story arc. And when they explore it, I think they do really well with it, at least in season 3.
Oh yeah, for sure. Let me look at some of my notes.
And like, I love the fucking not the pocket full of Hawthorns, the jingle at the beginning. For those of you who were paying any sort of attention to the end of our first collection, at the end of the Benjamins episode, I dropped in the pocket full of Hawthorns clip to end the episode, kind of trying to tease what was coming next. But I don't think anyone caught it. But I often go around singing the pocket full of Hawthorns jingle.
That's like one of my notes, is that it's catchy as hell. I got a pocket full of Hawthorns. But what was I gonna say? I just my notes are pretty simple this week. They're just basically just repeating a lot of the gags here, like the first annual gay bash.
Yeah, those are kind of dumb, and I think it's interesting to say. I mean, I think you've. What do I say? Because I'm not trying to criticize you necessarily. I don't know that I would say this is a good episode to represent Pride Month, because I feel like, unfortunately, a lot of the jokes, at least with Pierce, kind of fall in that the gay panic type thing, and that's one of the ways that the episode maybe hasn't aged well. But I still think, like, what you know about Pierce and the performance that Chevy Chase turns in, I still think it's just a top tier episode. But certainly some of the gay panic stuff, I mean, it probably wasn't great back then, but I probably was not as mature and as culturally woke as I am now. So
waiting for you to say the W word.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, yeah, I mean, when I say, like, I wanted to celebrate Pride Month by talking about this episode, I didn't really think about how well this episode caters to the gay community. Um, but yeah, what else is there? I had a couple other notes. Oh, um, another good line was, "I'm gonna eat spaceman paninis with Black Hitler, and there's nothing you can do about it."
Yeah.
I
Again,
what do you think
all
about
that stuff is
the
good.
B plot with Troy?
That's it's amazing. Like I said, that's really where that again, that's part of the whole idea that everything's really coalescing and coming together. And you don't see the like from here to the end of the season, there's lots of different payoffs along the way. But I think this is another like you've got the biology 101 where everything kind of like the groundwork gets laid. Then you've got like the advanced gay where a lot of that starts to be explored more. Like we can see Troy's going to get pulled into this world with the plumbing versus the air conditioning versus Abed. We can see the dad issues coming up, Britta and her psychology major, and then and like I think to call it a B plot, I think is a misnomer.
Okay, yeah, it's an equally important plot.
I would say so, yeah. And in the end, a
Um,
more important plot to the overall arc. Like I think there's a lot of important stuff with Pearson's dad that pays off later in the season, but it's not as crucial as the whole what is Troy going to do with his life.
yeah, and like I love that he ends up saying, he's like, "I just want to watch TV with my friend."
Yeah.
I thought that was really heartwarming. And like yeah, I kind of forgot that this is Britta's story. This is Britta's storyline of her pursuing a psych major. I think it's hilarious that she doesn't know what the Oedipus complex is. Um, yeah, I thought that was pretty great.
Well, one of my favorite. There's so many, like you said, there's so many good one-liners. The one that I just thought about was at the funeral, and I think Troy's like, "Dude just told his dead dad to suck it."
Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah, there's like so many. This is a very joke-heavy episode. Um, and then at the very end, there's Chang. He's like, "Winger, you're leaving alone." Okay.
Yeah, and again, but that's part of like what
One
makes
of
it
the
not
more
age well. He's leaving with
no, one of the
a
more
transgender
unfortunate.
person and then accusing Jeff
Yeah,
of being gay, and that's that particular 30 seconds really, even at the time, was not something that probably should have been in there.
no, that was one of the more unfortunate jokes. Yeah, this I was really wondering what level of problematic this episode would be when I was watching it. And it turned out to be pretty, I don't know, pretty iffy.
My problem is, I mean, the more I think about it, I'm like, yeah, it is.
What's your
Have
favorite episode?
yeah, I have too much I have too much privilege in my life, unfortunately. I've been blessed with a lot of privilege that I don't a lot of these things don't register with me until I do a deeper analysis on some of these things, right?
Right, right. Um, let's see, what notes do I have? Or do I just
I was interested in your take because in some of our earlier episodes this season, you've talked about Abed's portrayal of someone on the spectrum, and I what did you think of the joke where it's like at the very beginning and Annie, I think it's Annie, has like little plate of peas and she makes it into a smiley face and she shows it to Abed and Abed's like, oh cool, Stonehenge.
I didn't really get that joke.
If anything, I just thought it was like highlighting how because they talk about in I think maybe one of the episodes that we've discussed or will discuss how Abed can't see faces, right? Like he doesn't really recognize different
Oh,
facial expressions, and she's got like this
yeah,
happy face of peas, and he's like, "Oh, Stonehenge!" Like he can't even recognize a human face as peas or whatever.
yeah. That is interesting. I never really thought about it like that. I wondered why he said that, but yeah. Um, so predictably, my take is that I didn't even understand the joke.
Cool.
Um, yeah. Other notes I got were Pierce's dad is like next level racist,
I
and
like
that
when Britta's like, I can excuse the racism,
mm,
but like
but I
she
tried.
freaks out about animal cruelty or whatever. Yeah.
It's a very popular meme where it's Shirley saying, "You can excuse the racism."
Yeah.
There's a lot of variations of that one. Like there's that he addresses the study group in that scene, and the amount of like slurs and just stereotypes and like just that fly out of his mouth per minute are is just insane. Like,
Were those all real slurs and stereotypes? I swear to God, some of them had to have just been made up to sound
oh
silly.
yeah, yeah. There, I'm sure some of them were made up, but like every like where he like attacks Britta for being Swedish.
Yeah.
I thought that was really funny, but not that like that scene in itself is funny. Like where he says like he's like he where he talks about his wig, he's like, oh yeah, the most wigs are made by the Orientals or something like that.
Uh-huh.
It's like, geez, dude, it's like this guy is like full of hate.
Yeah.
Like there's not a single group of people that he likes.
Excuse me. Yeah.
So I thought that was so from a writing perspective, that I thought that was really impressive how they can make someone so overtly racist
Well,
and just like so quickly.
and I think, and this is just off the top of my head because I don't know that I've ever really thought too much about this, but I think it does a really good job of exploring generational dysfunction. I think a lot of people, it, Pierce was not his dad, right? Like Pierce is an asshole. He's got a lot of issues, but somehow he's better than his dad. And I think at least he has improved from the next generation. Pierce has kids that is shown in one episode. There's a step kid or something, but like we don't really see how that progresses. But I think you can see that in a lot of families. Like, one parent maybe is like emotionally abusive to their kid, not acceptable, right? Like you want to break that cycle, but then you dig into it and you find out that person was as a child physically abused, and it's just this perpetuating again generational dysfunction. How do we break that cycle? And I think a lot of times, unfortunately, the best we do is well, at least I'm not as bad as the last generation. I think Pierce kind of shows that here.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah. Yeah. Um. Yeah. I feel like that's true. Like with every generation, every generation is more woke than the last.
Hopefully, yeah.
I think so. Yeah. I know Gen Z is more woke than us because they know about the stuff sooner than we do.
I'm Gen Z. I don't know what you're talking about. I just turned 18 this year, actually.
Right. Yeah, you're a big Olivia Rodrigo fan, or whatever her name is.
The what now?
Exactly. I knew you were. Well, it's like she has that one song. It's like "Good for You." Something sounds like Paramore.
You think everything sounds like Paramore?
I don't think everything sounds. I wish more things sounded like Paramore. Paramore rocks.
I'm glad that a lot of things don't sound like Paramore.
No, but she's like a Disney kid that blew up recently with an album.
I wish that more things sounded like My Chemical Romance.
I could take him or leave him.
Wink, wink, nod, nod.
What are we winking at now?
We're winking at the fact that I don't really like My Chemical Romance that much, but we have a certain listener who got very upset at your takes about
oh yeah
My Chemical Romance and Fall Out Boy, and
I knew that would ruffle some feathers. I don't know. I think Paramore shits all over those bands. I don't care what anyone says. Hayley Williams is like a next level performer. Not saying Gerard Way is like not a next level performer because he's a very good frontman. But
I take the Beatles any day.
What?
I take the Beatles any day over either of those bands.
Yes, the very relevant Beatles who are very
The Beatles are
current.
always relevant. They're always
I
fucking
mean,
relevant.
yeah, we were the very current band.
Yeah.
What does it take to get a Beatles reunion?
Well, two of them are dead, so that's probably
Two
not
more
happening.
bullets.
Two more bullets. That see now that implies the existence of an afterlife. I didn't know you were so religious.
What?
I didn't know you were so religious.
I'm not.
You just said that you think they'll all meet again in hell. I know you don't mean heaven.
No, well, they're all going to hell for that damn rock and roll music. Devil's music.
All right, what else do we got?
We got the AV Club.
All right, let's do it.
Let's see here. All right, so what I thought was interesting is that this you said this was like the coalescing of all these storylines coming together.
Uh-huh.
And this person, our friend Emily Todd Vanderwerf, who we should get on the pod.
You need to reach out to her.
Yeah, I should. She says that this is an episode that still feels like it's building to something. So whereas you said this is like the culmination of all the storylines.
Not the culmination. It's like where they all start to coalesce together towards an end game. This is not the culmination. This is a very important piece to everything coming together to pay off later in the season.
Okay, so I guess you guys are on the same page then. I thought you were saying this is the culmination.
No, this is the beginning of the coalition.
See, I fronted and thought coalescing meant something else.
Get yourself a dictionary, my friend.
Yeah. So that's all I had with the AV Club is that they
well, let's do that. Let's do your first sentence, last sentence thing.
Okay. All right. Well, okay. They also gave it a B plus, which I think is
fuck that. I think that's bullshit.
Okay, all right. At least one of us is disagreeing. Okay, so here's the first sentence. One of the things Community has been missing a bit this season, one of the things Remedial Chaos Theory provided in spades that the others didn't, is the idea that these people really do like hanging out with each other. So that was a long first sentence, but yeah, I don't know. What do you think about that?
Well, first of all, I don't really necessarily think that Remedial Chaos Theory provides that, save for like the very last scene.
Not at all.
Certainly the last scene with Roxanne, and we'll get there, but I mean, that's the only real part of that I feel like points to that. This episode, again, maybe more so than Remedial Chaos Theory, but I guess I've never really stopped to care whether or not they'd like hanging out with each other or not. I just want it to be funny.
Yeah, and you don't really see everyone in the group. This isn't a very big group episode.
Right.
Because the focus is mostly on Pierce and Troy, and to a lesser extent Jeff and Britta. But Abed, Shirley, and Annie, like they're not really in the episode very much. They're mostly quiet. I mean, Shirley has that joke where it's like, I don't know what this has to do with the choice to be gay.
Uh-huh.
At the beginning, but I don't know. Yeah. So the last sentence is, guys, these are always so long. I don't know if you've ever scrolled through one of these reviews, but they are really fucking long. Okay. Here's hoping the show can figure out how to make all this setup pay off.
Which they do.
Yeah, which they do for sure. Um. Oh yeah, did you catch the way Pierce pronounces the word Wikipedia?
Yeah, the Wikipedia or whatever.
Yeah, that was so good. I
Yeah.
just So yeah, that was the AV Club. So they think that this is all going to pay off eventually, which it does.
Yeah.
So yeah, what else do we got?
I think that might be it.
I think that might be. We went pretty long on this one.
Yeah, like 45 minutes.
Yeah, that's good. I got pretty buzzed. I got pretty lit. But I'm going to continue to get lit.
Sure.
Great. Now I have that song stuck in my head. The not the Hawthorne White song. The good for you. You're some sounds like Paramore.
I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
The Gen Z song.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I haven't heard it.
Gen Z lady song. So yeah, so what we learned here is that this episode's not as woke as we thought it would be. Well, I don't think we thought it would be woke, but it's not as woke as we would like it to be.
Right.
Twitter's boring. I might go back on Discord. Yeah, I think that's it.
All right.
All right. Cool.
Have you figured out how to end one of these things yet?
No, never. How do you? I've been meaning to ask. How do you like my introductions are? Right, introductions on point.
Yeah, they're fine.
Okay, they're fine. They're just fine.
They're just fine, just like mine. I don't know. I don't know how what you would do to make them better.
All right. Well, thank you for listening to another episode of the Zeitgeist Lab podcast. I'm Brian. That's Alex.
Patreon.com/ZGLabPod.
Yeah, if you're one of those people that like to use Twitter, go over there, I guess, and tweet at us.
Twitter.com/PolySciAlex.
That's Alex, and I don't have a Twitter anymore. I've never been tempted to bring it back. I've never been tempted to bring it back.
Do we still do Spotify playlists while we're plugging things?
Oh, I don't think. I stopped doing those because I don't think people are listening to them.
Okay.
Even though I put a lot of time and effort into those, but that's mostly for me.
Well, check out the 3 that we have, and
I think there's 4.
Oh, 4. Okay.
Yeah. Check out my playlist. They all have a theme. Sometimes they do. Sometimes they don't.
There's only 4.
Yeah, they're called Hadouken. Hadouken 5 coming soon, maybe. I don't know. But they're all 2 hours long, and it's all really good music. What else? Patreon again. Yeah, that's it. Don't drink on your medication.
Don't drink and drive.
Unless you're good at it.
No.
I want to say one dangerous thing on this episode.
Okay, so do it. Don't tell our listeners to go drive drunk, though.
I want to say at least one reckless thing. So I'm
going to say something better.
I can't think of anything.
Nothing, exactly.
No.
It's because you're a reckless poser. You pose reckless.
I'm a reckless poster.
Poster. Okay, that's true. All right, is that it?
Go to work high. There you go.
Okay. All right. Yeah, do that. Goodbye.
Goodbye.